Good morning, Mr. President and members of the council. I'm here today to talk about the kitchen incubator. I know it's been floating around for about 3 years, and we are finally at a point that we will get this thing up and running here in March. Actually, I was a little bit surprised about how many people are in the room today. We've got a great turnout here. The audience, they must have known I was speaking today, so had to get a little bit of a joke in
Before you get carried away, are you bringing food to sample?
Yeah, not yet.
No,
not
so
yet.
we've got a kitchen with no food.
Not exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
So on the cover here, and I think everybody has a copy of this PowerPoint today. On the cover, this is actually copy or pictures of the kitchen, if you will. And I will bring your attention to the center logo, the skillet. That actually is the new logo that we're using for the kitchen incubator. So you'll see that floating around. And attached to that logo, we're setting up a separate web page. It's not live yet. It should be live here shortly within the next couple weeks. It's SussexKitchenDE.com. We've made it very easy for the customer to actually find the website. So let's go. Okay. I wanted to start off by addressing the comp plan of 2019 and bringing to your attention from the economic development side the objective 9.1.4. That objective was for the Economic Development Office to support small local businesses and county-based industries. And the strategy was to establish a Sussex County Business Resource Center within the Economic Development Office. And we really feel that this kitchen incubator at the end of the day is actually fulfilling this part of the comp plan. After doing an environmental scan of what already exists within the county in terms of resource centers, this is definitely a void. And I will tell you, from my old job at the university running the Small Business Development Center, if there's one thing that I constantly heard was the availability of a commercial kitchen, somebody that can't afford to build a commercial kitchen looking for space. This really is that resource center at the end of the day. So what is a kitchen incubator? It's a state licensed and certified kitchen. It's rented by the day, the week, or the month. Chefs use it, caterers, food trucks, farmers use it for value-added products. And the kitchen incubator provides the following services: business planning, training, marketing, legal, at the legal aspects of running a business, distribution, and most importantly, job training to help current and potential employers. So here's a few items that we feel is the barriers that a lot of small business owners have when they decide, I'm looking for a kitchen. A kitchen incubator helps remove restrictive barriers of high-cost capital investment associated with leasing or purchasing a commercial kitchen and kitchen equipment. It allows specialty food businesses like processors, farmers, caterers, food cart vendors, food trucks the opportunity to start from nothing and grow. It reduces the risk of failure by removing additional startup barriers associated with no or low skilled in an area of managing and maintaining a commercial kitchen. And we provide technical assistance and training and value-added resources related to distribution, branding, marketing, pricing, food costing, insurance, legal services, and financial opportunities. About 4 months ago, we started the process of hiring a manager for the kitchen. I can't do everything, so it was important for us to hire a manager, and I wanted to introduce our manager of the kitchen, executive chef, whatever the title he chooses as well as we choose. But Jim Richards is our kitchen manager, and he's been with us now 4 months. And Jim, you want to come on up? I'll let Jim introduce himself and give you a little bit of a background that he brings to the table.
Good morning, Mr. President, and Councilman. A little bit of my background. I've been in the food business all my life as a young kid. So I'm afraid to say I've got over 50-some years of experience in the business. I'm a graduate of the Culinary Institute. I also, besides my culinary abilities, I attended the University of Scranton, so I have some business behind me. I've owned and operated my own businesses for over 20-some years, so I know both back of the house, front of the house, financials in there. I've worked for large global companies, large national companies, and I've done small operations also. So I think I'm pretty well diversified. As Bill said, they hired me 4 months ago. I retired that Saturday. I was hired by Bill that Wednesday. I saw it as an opportunity to keep myself within the business, but take a different venue. Instead of working, I'm going to be teaching. So I'm going to take my experience of the past 55 years and my knowledge, and just people coming in to kind of tone in their expectations of what the food business is, whether they're a food truck, a caterer, a baker, someone just packaging food, someone who wants to do, like we've had the dog bone business, and we've seen success with that in here. You know, that's food, started with food. Jams and jellies was another big business in this area. And I'm kind of excited because we haven't even announced it, and I've had already six or seven people contacting me. I've given a couple tours of the business. So I've talked to people in Wilmington who have a business. They got 70 people on their waiting list trying to get into a kitchen. In the 4 months here, I've done a lot of, looking around the country. You know, you go out west, Colorado, California, this is very popular. A lot of states already have it. It's big in Massachusetts. So with the paradigm shift that happened in the restaurant business, especially after COVID, I see this as a big opportunity for Sussex County. You know. So that's who I am, and that's what I expect to do.
Well, welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, that's some resume.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Don't let Bill cook.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
He already, said he wants to come up and make sure everything tastes just right.
Yeah, right. I'm the taste tester. That's right.
You know?
That's right. Thank you, Jim. Unbeknownst to me, I was a little bit taken back here about 2 weeks ago, maybe now it's 3 weeks ago. This kitchen incubator does have a cost factor, a pricing factor attached to it. And when I was talking with with Mrs. Jennings, I was a little bit dumbfounded that I'm here today, that our pricing structure is, it's not free. The incubator's not free. And you must have skin in the game to participate. So all this pricing I'm bringing to council today for your good housekeeping seal of approval. And I'd like to go over that pricing structure, if you will. So we have purchased a platform called Food Corridor, and it's an online service. It's a company that promotes kitchen incubators across the country. And they have a platform where you upload all the information about your kitchen incubator, pricing structure, etc. And there's a calendar on there. So once you become a member of the kitchen incubator, then you'll get an access to this food corridor platform, and you'll actually be able to go in there and you'll be able to schedule your time in different parts of the kitchen, and that's actually how you're going to pay for what you choose from your services. And then on a monthly basis, will send us a check for whatever revenues was generated from the schedule that was that people put online. So you can actually go on this food corridor and you can actually see, well, the kitchen's being used at such and such a time, so you're going to have to pick a different time. So from a pricing standpoint, it's something we knew from the very beginning that there was going to be a cost to everything. So there is an application fee, and the application fee is not non-refundable. So you become a member of the kitchen. So that's the way you're going to get in from a membership standpoint. And that membership includes a workshop on how to start a business, which includes business planning, because at the end of the day, you need to have a business plan. You need that roadmap to know where you are today and where you're going to be tomorrow. There also will be a workshop on food cost and pricing. Very important when you're in the restaurant business. How do you price your product? Well, in order to price your product, you need to know what it costs you. So it includes equipment repair, pest control, trash removal, janitorial services, and deep cleaning, and then basic equipment like soap, sanitizer, buckets, pots, pans. We supply all that. But that's included in your being a member of the kitchen. Kitchen fees. We do have a security deposit. We will, once you become a member, we will require a security deposit. Oops, I'm sorry. We will require a security deposit for each member. There is some options. There's a menu. There are some options on how you can choose to pay. There is a $300 a month option, which includes 15 hours use of the kitchen. And if you're a food truck, and that's a big industry right now, if you're a food truck, the state of Delaware Health Department requires each food truck to have a relationship with a commercial kitchen. So they are required to get a letter from us, give to the health department so that they can operate that food truck. So we will require every food truck to take that $300 option, just because we just don't want somebody to pay us $100 and become a member of the kitchen and think that they're going to be able to get a letter and then we never see them again. We really want them to do it the right way, and that's what the incubator is all about. So if you use the 15 hours of usage in the kitchen, because you are using the $300 a month option, we give you a reduced hourly rate of $24 for any additional hours that you may need the kitchen for. So if you're just using the kitchen at will, let's say you're a small caterer and you're just using the kitchen, it's $35 an hour, and we do require a minimum of 3 hours scheduling, because till you get in there, till you do what you have to do, until you clean up, and we do have some protocol that we will make every operator follow, and Jim's going to take them through that protocol when they start being a member of the kitchen. So if you need dry storage, we charge for dry storage. It's $75 a month. If you need refrigeration or freezer usage, we charge for that. We have a small refrigerator space for $45 and a large space for $75. At your will, I've included some websites that you can look at some kitchens across the country and look at what their pricing structure looks like. I will tell you, we've tried to keep our pricing structure below what other kitchens are using across the country, because we're looking for success out of this kitchen, and we want to make it at much as a minimal price as we can. So I guess the first thing is, any questions?
Any questions of council?
Always. The one thing I didn't see in the offerings that I might like to see is HACCP training. I don't know if that's included or not. Is it?
We do.
Yeah, we will have that, part of the requirement, they have to be HACCP certified through ServSafe.
Good.
Yeah.
And that once you take the course, I think it's $195 to take the course, and that course is good for 4 years. Once you pass it, it's good for 4 years.
Right. Okay.
What is that?
It's
Food
ServSafe.
safety and sanitation.
Hazard analysis and critical control
Yeah.
plans.
Okay.
Called HACCP plan.
Yeah.
And it's all about, how to handle foods at certain temperatures, how to store them properly, how to receive them.
Okay. I just know how to eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for the jargon. How many members do you think you can handle out there?
Well, I think at one time, we've purchased some new equipment out there. If you need bakery department, if you're cooking, let's say you're doing soups, that's another area. I think at one operation, 3 or 4 people can actually work in the kitchen.
At
the same time.
Three separate, I'll have 3 separate.
Bill.
stations.
Different workstations.
Jim needs to come
Jim,
speak.
come on up, Jim.
So you have different workstations, you have multiple
Yeah.
members working at the same time?
Yeah, I'm looking at the layout we have now. Right now, I'm planning on having 3 maximum, using it at the same time, depending on their size. If it's a larger event, they might need, the half a kitchen, so, I'll work those particulars out.
Yeah.
As far as total memberships, we probably anywhere between 20 to 30, depending, like I said, on their usage.
Yeah.
If someone comes in and just wants to be temporarily, that number goes up. But if they're going to be using it every week, I got to see, because we're under the guidelines of Del Tech hours. We can
Right.
only operate during those hours that they're open.
You can't
So
be
I can't do
24 hours.
24/7, no.
No.
If I was 24/7, then we could operate more. But since we're leasing theirs under Del Tech, we have to operate.
Will you
under
be there
Del Tech.
all the time that it's?
No, I won't be. We're going to have security cameras set up and a key code for them to access in and out. And I don't know if, right now, we don't know if that'll be time-stamped, but I'll have a sign-in, sign-out sheet, and then I can confirm that by going over the cameras if I need to.
Would you, this isn't going to break even, I would suspect, based on
No.
what we're hearing.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, do you have any projections or thoughts about what it's going to cost?
We do. I think at the end of the day, we'll spend about $100,000 a year to operate the kitchen.
Do we have a grant for that, right? Or no?
We do.
We do.
And the grant is secure, even with these fees
Very good.
in place. I made sure that was in place.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean,
You are,
I'm excited about it.
Mr. Green?
yeah, because if you're doing any catering and which you consider small things, you do have to have a commercial kitchen to work out
Correct.
of. And it is a requirement.
Yep,
So I
by
think
state
that this
law, yeah.
helps subsidize those small businesses. And I did have a question. So their suppliers, let's say it's HC Davis or those, can their suppliers deliver the product directly to the kitchen to you?
They could.
Like the refrigerated items and stuff like that? You have
Yep.
the
Yes.
delivery guy.
Yeah,
come.
I'll work out a timeline when we'll be able to accept deliveries.
Yeah.
Whether it be through U.S. Food, Cisco's, or whatever they want to do. But they have to lease, the refrigeration space, or the dry space, so I will accept it and put it in one central, and then they're responsible for putting it in their own, storage units, whatever
Yeah.
it may be.
Because I'm
But-
thinking of the refrigerated items especially. You
Right.
don't want this caterer to go bring refrigerator in their car.
Right.
To your, because then you've defeated
Right.
what you're doing. So what needs to happen is a refrigerated truck needs to deliver to the refrigerator.
Right. So someone who's using it on a regular basis will have that option, but the majority of them will be that take in, take out, what they're using for the day, if they're not using any storage. But there again, they're required by, the ServSafe or the HACCP laws, how to handle it coming in and how to handle
Yeah,
it coming
needs to
out.
be
Because we,
refrigerated to
right.
refrigerator. So that would be good if you offer that, so
Sure.
that, because these trucks,
Right.
they come during a 3-hour window.
Right.
And so if you're the caterer and you're home doing something else to get there, so that'd be a great thing if you can offer that during certain
So,
hours
yeah.
of the day.
We're working with our IT department in Delaware Tech's IT department. There is some technology out there that we can actually assign a code,
Okay.
even for a delivery person,
Yeah.
assign a certain
Right.
refrigeration space that they would load that in a refrigerator or in the walk-in box. So as we get into this, we'll work through all that, but I think that's an excellent point. And we thought about it, and just like if you go and rent a place on Airbnb, how you access that Airbnb today is through an access code. So we're using that same technology at the Kitchen Incubator. So we're working with our IT and Deltec's IT department to.
And a lot of the food service companies that deliver are used to it because of the rules between Rehoboth and Ocean City. They call them key drops. So
Okay.
they get there 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they do.
And they have keys to the restaurants that they're delivering. They can get in, drop the food off in the proper way, and then lock it up behind them. So, we'll work
I'm
through
glad
under
you
those.
can accommodate that as
Yeah.
much as possible. I think that's important.
Any more questions, the council? Okay, who's going to read short title, Mr. Moore? Or?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. An ordinance amending the annual operating budget for fiscal year 2023 to incorporate new fees and expenses for the Kitchen Incubator project.
I'll introduce it.
Mr. Riley introduces it. Thank you, Mr. Pop.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Andrea Wall.